Okay, so we got dot here. I got lots of zones drawn. I mean, price has been respecting these areas, which is nice. It's been following its trend nicely. I like this breakdown a lot. As far as taking a trade, I mean, this was the one I took up here. It's working out real well. If you wanted to add to a position, you basically just trade these zones, these levels here. This currency is following it really well, so that's nice to see. Look, I drew this out and it's absolutely perfect. Wow, look at this. So I don't even remember when I drew this, but last Tuesday I think. So it's been about a week, and yeah, it worked out perfect. So now you can see it's kind of flatlining a little bit. Still very bearish on the daily and the 4-hour, which is good, but I would look for I mean, I want price to come back up to here about the 5.1 area, but I don't know if it will. I can see it's kind of creating a lot of resistance now, so might not make it back up here for me to add to my position, but I would yeah, I would consider a short now, to be honest. If we move this down here, I'm gonna look for reasons to not take this. I like to sometimes go against my thoughts and like let's give me reasons why I wouldn't take this trade, and I actually don't think there's too many, to be honest. So a couple things here. You got this zone here where price came into after it's made lower lows, so, and it's way below this moving average, so we know the bearish momentum is here. Then price came up to this zone, created these massive wicks. You got this lower high here versus here, and now you have this huge bearish engulfing candle out of this zone. So that tells me that price really doesn't want to go higher. It's rejecting the zone heavily. I mean, you could set, if you wanted to wait for price to come back up to $5 even. So, and again, this is another whole level, right? Price loves whole levels. It really respects them and gravitates towards them. So the fact that this is rejecting on the $5 perfectly, I mean, just it's a very good sign. So, but I would wait for price to come back up to $5 here and see if it rejects again, and then if it does, this is your position to take. So set your stops above, above this area here, above all these previous wicks on this 4-hour, and then this is your short position. I don't think it'll go this low. I think you would basically just target the bottom of this zone would be your first target. As far as a monthly range goes, I mean, these are so out of whack. There's nothing you can really go off of as far as range. So you really just have to trade zone to zone and kind of momentum. So our next area of resistance is this area. So this would be target 1, and then this is obviously target 2. But yeah, I think this could definitely get here pretty quickly. I think now that it's broken this area here. If today closes, like if it closed right now, I think that's a clear sign that it wants to head lower. And so I would target the bottom of this zone if we wanted to break it down on a 4-hour level and just see kind of where the real resistance is. Yeah, it might be at about 4.8 here. You can see some wicks here on the 4-hour, but the big ones are all right here at like 487. So I wouldn't try to shrink this zone anymore. I think this zone is pretty big and significant. So yeah, I'd probably just hold my trade. I'd shoot for something like this. If the risk to reward isn't really there, which, I mean, if you got back in at $5 even and targeted the bottom of this zone at like 476, I mean, your risk to reward is between 4 and 4.5. So I mean, it's not terrible by any means. It's pretty good, but it's not crazy good. So it's not double digits, and it's not. You're basically relying on dot to come all the way down to this zone and beat out all of these candles, these huge wicks here. So it's a lot to ask for. I mean, it definitely could do it, but I mean, you're asking for a lot, and you're not really, for a possible 4.5-ish risk to reward, you need price to come all the way down to the bottom of this zone, is a little iffy. But I mean, you definitely could do it if you want to take, if you don't use a stop loss, so you're not as concerned about risk to reward, then yeah, you by all means take the position now, or take it, if it comes back up to $5, take it, or take some now, take when it take it when it comes back up to 5. Yeah, I think those are all good positions to take. I do think it's obviously bearish. You can see this candle is engulfing even more as I speak. So I do think it's a great short now. I just think that the risk to reward is a little bit iffy. And as far as zones go, I mean, it trades really well zone to zone, but these zones are really big, so you don't really know. Like, it might touch the top of this zone and start rejecting. Like, it might start rejecting at 487, and then that's kind of like, if this was your trade, that to me is not worth it at all. Just me personally, I don't take I don't take tiny trades like this. I like the bigger, more long-term trades. But I mean, if this suits your risk tolerance, then by all means take it. I think as far as entering a short right now, I think you're good either or. Like, I think shorting it is the right mindset right now, and I think you'll still make money whether you short it now, you let it come back up a little bit and short it. I think you'll still make money no matter what. So I mean, that's the important factor. It's just how much money and how long you can hold this trade for. That's what I don't know. I don't know if it's going to break this zone, or I don't know how deep it's going to go into this zone. I mean, it might completely destroy the zone, and then you're looking at the next one, which then could be totally worth, like, if price, and this is a big if price breaks this zone, it's most likely going to this one. And then if you got in the position now and this was your target, I mean, at like 438 kind of thing, I mean, then you're laughing. That's a fantastic risk to reward. I mean, I would take that trade all day. So that's the only setup I would really take. But I do think this is actually pretty reasonable the more I look at it. It just might take longer, like, and we don't really know the ranges, so we don't know how much this really moves in a month. Like, recently it's been, last month, let's see, last month was 76 cents. The month before that was $1.17. The month before that was 79 cents. So I mean, with 70 cents being your range, I mean, it definitely could go down to about 450, 440. Yeah, so I mean, this is within monthly range, I would say. So with that being said, now that I talk myself more into this, I think this is actually a pretty decent trade. I think this is within the monthly range now that I look at the monthly ranges. Not the average, but the last few of them. This is within range, but about 70 cents from the top of this month, beginning of August to the end of August, about 70-80 cents. So that's very reasonable. The bottom of this zone, I think we can do. I think it is definitely bearish. It's way below this moving average. It's rejecting this zone. It's printing this bearish engulfing candle. So I think you're good to enter short now, or let it come back up to 5 and short it. And I think you're good to target this 438 level. So that's my take on Polkadot. Hopefully that wasn't too. Hopefully I explained that in depth, but not too much to bore you. So yeah, it's Polkadot.